Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to answer a viewer's question. Actually, I'm going to kind of expand on the question because of what was asked. Okay, the initial question was, can you easily transpose by using the user programs? So, can you set up something on user 1A and then easily transpose to something else on 1B? Okay, now the answer to that is yes, but there's a caveat here, and here it is. The manual is not real clear on what they are calling transposing. Okay, they use it for a couple things. And I don't know if it was in the translation, in the manual, or lack of some other way of calling it. I don't know, and that doesn't matter. But in the manual, they talk about transposing, and they talk about that when they're talking about changing the octaves. Can you change the octaves? And the answer to that transposing question is absolutely yes. You can set up, and you're going to see, I'm going to have a demo here of setting it up where I'm actually going to, take the octaves up, and when I'm playing a song, and I'm going to show you how to set that up in user program. So I'm going to put, I think I'm going to use a bassoon reed, and I'm going to put it normal in 1A, and then up an octave in 1B, and then just change while I'm playing the song. So if that's a transposing that you're interested in doing, yes, you can easily do that with the user programs. All right. Switching now. Can we transpose, quote, transpose to a different key? So if we're playing a song in the key of C, and whether it's a singer or whatever coming in, and we need to transpose to the key of A, we'll say the key of A. Can you do that? Yes, you can do that on the accordion. Can you save that in a user program? No. The key that you're in is not one of the items, and you're going to see over here I have what is saved in the user program. The key that you're in is not saved. The octave is. You'll see that the octave is saved for that. So you can actually, change your octaves, organ, orchestral, treble. You can change those, and they're actually saved. A key is not. So if you need to switch keys, oh, okay, great. Whoever, somebody's coming in and they're going to sing along, okay, and they need it to be in the key of A, but you only know the song in the key of C, and you would struggle to figure out where everything is by doing that. And being able to do that, that's really good, being able to transpose like that. I can tell you, I am nowhere near that good. Anyway, the accordion, you can simply change it and put it in the key that you want. So your music is in the key of C. You can play it in the key of A exactly the same way. Piece of cake. But you cannot save that. Okay, so I can't put that in a user program. So user program 1A is a key of C, 1B is a key of A. It won't save it. Those are not items that can be saved. Okay, I've beaten this horse to death here now. So let's get on to something a little different. Can you change the key that you're in on the fly? So you're starting in the key of C. Can you change by pressing a key and have it in the key of A? Can you do that? And then switch back? The answer to that question is yes. I don't think it's the best way of doing that, because you're going to see when I go through the demo, I'll kind of explain kind of what you have to do, because as you're changing the key, it's changing the key everywhere, treble and bass. So can you do that? Yes. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It will be interesting. We'll just say it will be interesting. Anyway, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like and subscribe down below. And leave any comments or questions. Questions that you give me is actually how I come up with the videos. And hopefully I'm helping a lot of you out to enjoy the 1X. It's a great little accordion. It's just amazing. Anyway, I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to set these up. Then I'm going to do a demo and come back with a couple ending thoughts. First thing we're going to do, so you can actually, hear it, we're going to set the bellows curve to 3 so you can actually hear without me playing with the bellows. So we hold 28 in, we're going to set that, it is 4, we're going to set it to 3 so it has sound. All right. Now we're going to start by changing the octave. So in this case, we're going to do the user program. So we'll start, and this really we don't need, but we're going to do it anyway. So you'll see that that's also set whenever I do the demo. So I've set the bass and the chord, so it's going to be the same. Now, for this demonstration, we're just going to change the octave. So right now, let me get out of parameters. Right now, this is standard. So it's set at the standard octave. Okay? So, if we hit C, there's the key of C. That's just what it sounds like. So we're going to pick an accordion. So for the song that I'm going to demonstrate, we're going to do a bassoon. So there's the sound that I want for the accordion. So right now, we have everything set. And you can make as complicated changes as you want. But for the demo, we're going to keep it fairly simple. That I'm going to put in user program 1A. So I go into user program and I'm going to select 1A, and that is actually where I want that program to go. It is now right there. Okay. Now, let me get out of user program because I still have the bassoon reed, but now I want to change the octave. Okay, so to change the octave, it's kind of interesting. You see, I was holding the set switch and it went up. Lines mean it's normal. It's now down an octave. Okay, well, I think we're going to put the octave up for this particular song. And now I want to put that in user program 1B. So I can simply change this. All right. So user programs, flashing, want it in 1B, save it, and there it is. Now, notice that I'm there. So let me take it out of user program. If you noticed, that is still that octave up because that's what I have set it at. So I'll just put it at normal. So there it is. And if I turn the accordion off and turn it back on, if I go to user programs and I go to 1A, there it is, 1B, it's there. Now that's a user program. Sorry, I was interrupted there. Let me turn the accordion on. Now, for this case, I want to show you, in essence, something interesting, we'll say. Okay, so I've saved the system settings. Okay, bellows curve is saved. Everything is fine and dandy. Okay, good. For the demo, I'll turn the bass and chord on, and that's just for whenever I play it for you, just so you know, sorry, where I would be. Okay, now, for this, I want to change, so, I actually want to take it down -3. So, for example, right now, and let me get into this transposing. So that's a parameter list, and it's actually 5 in. Okay, so currently it is set at 0. So here's C. If I take it -3 down, that's 1, 2, 3. That C, here's C, it should sound like the A. Okay, so let's do that. Here's the A. I'm going to set it down to -3, and I'm going to press the C. Same sound, same sound. Now, if I wanted to go further, I can go either way. And if I want to get back to 0, I hit the 2 3 times, and now the C sounds like a C and not an A. Okay, so that's all fine and good. Now, if you want to switch keys while you're playing, unfortunately, you're going to have to leave it in this mode. So if you want to go from having C sound like C to it being an A, or changing whichever into whatever key you want. Okay, you're going to have to do that. Now, here's the problem. If you're doing a bass chord, let me see if I can find it blind over here. Watch what happens. It changes both the treble and the bass side. Bass and chords, obviously, but it's going to change both. So if you are playing a song and you are trying to do something over here, you're going to be changing as you're playing. Now, to get around that, one interesting thing that you can do is if you hold the note, and I'm going to do it on the treble side because the bass, has a velocity and you're not going to hear it quite the same. Here, if I hold it, if I change, it changes. And let me put it to 0. But now watch what happens. If I'm holding it and I'm going to, and let me do it this way so I'm not photo bombing here. If I hold the key and I press, watch what happens. Nothing. It did not change. So if you are trying to change on the fly, the only way I know to do that is you either have to have a rest. So if you're playing in a group, that's great. They can pick it up while you're switching. Or you hold a note while you are changing. That takes a lot of practice. Okay? But you'd have to and actually change it as you are going. So you really have to be watching here, knowing what you're doing. I'm not sure that that's really what you want to do, or actually what the viewer was asking. But if it was, that's the only way that I know to be able to change the key that you're playing in and go up 1 or 2 or down 1 or 2 as you're playing. Because watch what happens. Watch what happens. Here's C. We're going to make it A. Okay. I'm going to go in and I'm going to save the system settings. So I'm going to say yes. Save the system settings. Now we go, oh great, everything is saved. So this is now an A instead of a C. But watch what happens. When I turn this back on, the key is not one of the items that is saved as a system setting. It's back to C. Just to show you, we're back to C. We had saved it as -3, but it won't change it. It won't save the setting. So the only way to get that to change is actually to leave it here and to make the changes on the fly. Not the best situation. Now usually what this is used for primarily is if you have your music in, let's say, the key of C, but you're accompanying, whether it's a singer or someone else who knows the song in, let's say, the key of A, you simply change the accordion, your accordion, you continue to play in the key of C, but it's actually playing in the key of A or F or whatever. Okay, now that we've seen the examples and you know, of what you can do, basically, I believe the question, or at least had three parts. One, can you use the user programs to, quote, transpose? Well, if you're talking about changing an octave, yes, you can do that without a problem. You saw that. Okay. Second is if I want to switch keys that I'm in on the fly, how do I do that? Well, you have to, and you saw it with, I'll be honest with you, I'm not good enough to make it sound good, okay, and to do it flawlessly here. But in essence, you either have to have a rest where you're changing, so really you need like someone else playing with you so they can be doing something while you're doing the change. Or you hold the key while you are hitting the button and make the change. Okay. Now, that's if you want to do it on the fly. If you know Rambling Rose in the key of C, but you want it played in the key of A for the singer or someone who's accompanying you, or you're accompanying someone, you can change that. And it's set as long as the power's on. Power goes out, you turn it off, you turn it back on, it goes back to its setting. It doesn't keep the change that you've made. I don't know of any way of actually getting it to save that permanently. Okay, so you would have your accordion in, I don't know, key of A versus C, which I'm not sure why you would want, because you're looking at your music and it's written in whatever key it's in. So I'm not sure why you'd ever want to do that. And I'm sure that's why Roland never programmed that as one of the settings to be saved. Because as you saw, when you change the key, when you transpose, it changes everything. It changes the bass side and the treble side. So it's a complete change. So again, if you're doing, a simple one to follow music, yes, that's it. Otherwise, no. It's not going to save that as a permanent setting. It's also not saved if you try to do a user program. That is not one of the items that's saved. Only the octave is saved, not a key change. All right. Anyway, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like and subscribe below and keep playing.